I call this wise words to the wise. The words you say you'll teach if you practice what you preach. And when they're spoken or written or signed, I think words are powerful enough to change someone's life. Our words beget the actions that ultimately shape our being. So in this topic, you're speaking to our large virtual audience that watches. You've chosen 3 specific words that we can all live by, Carlito. What are those 3 words, and why did you choose those 3 words to live by?
I came up with this, and the 3 words I came up with was live, laugh, love. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but as corny, as corny as it sounds, love is definitely something you need to have. You know what I mean? I was thinking words like passion and compassion, but love involves all that. You have to have love for the things you do. And then the way compassion comes in is you have to, to have compassion, you have to have love. You know what I mean? You have to understand your brothers or people around you. And you just have, love is one thing you have to have in life. Word number 2, the thing that I live by is courage. Courage in the sense, obviously the way courage, in the sense that people use courage, but at the same time I've learned in life, you regret the things you don't try. You know what I mean? You have to have that courage to fall flat, fall on your face. You know what I mean? I say people just go out, whatever fears you have, try it. You know what I mean? It's better to think I failed at something. I've done it a million times. I feel better that I failed at something than having something that I didn't try and just thinking, what could have been? Could I have done that? You know what I mean? And I tell you, you're going to fail a lot. Trust me. You got to get used to failing and just getting over it. You know what I mean? I've done a lot of times I've fallen flat, I've embarrassed myself, but at the same time, you realize it's not the end of the world. You keep going on. And then the 3rd word is appreciation. You know what I mean? You have drive in life, you have all these things you want to do, but at the same time, you got to sit back and think. And it just, no matter, you always want more, you're always thinking this and should have that, but then just take the time to just sit around and look around and think what you have and appreciate the people in your life, the things you've done, the things you have. And I think a lot of times, people, especially when they're going on with their careers and stuff, they don't take that time to just enjoy what they have. And, they're always wanting more, and you just always feel unfulfilled. I think if you take the time to settle, like, okay, I haven't done this, I didn't make that, but at the same time, wow, I've come a long way. I've done a lot, and, and look at the people I have in my life.
Mr. Eric Floyd, I'm going to read this out to our audience. You're speaking to our virtual audience. You've chosen 3 specific words we can all live by. What are those 3 words, and why did you choose those 3 words to live by? Whenever you're ready, the floor is yours, good sir.
The first one was selflessness. The second one is self-motivated. And the third is committed, being committed. I looked at a few definitions. There's so many different definitions for selflessness. Concern more with other people's needs above your own. Erin, you work with the dog shelters.
Yeah.
You're sacrificing so much. You're giving so much of yourself to benefit the animals, benefit the organization that you're working with daily. And that's what it's all about. Commitment. It's all about just giving from your heart. I drive by, I live here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and every time it breaks my heart when I drive and I'm at a stoplight and people out begging for money, calling. That just breaks my heart. And I would say to the audience out there, if you have an opportunity to give to someone on the street or go to a homeless shelter, donate your time, do it, because people need it. They wouldn't be asking if they did not need it. Being self-motivated. When I talk to kids and I work with kids and I talk to each one of them, I say, man, you got to be self-motivated. Because most teachers, if a student is in the classroom and the student, you don't have to be the smartest, have the highest intellect, but just give effort, show the teachers or coaches that you want to learn, that you want to be better, become better. And they would most teachers and coaches will gravitate towards that kid who's struggling but trying than someone that may be overly gifted. Because most teachers and coaches are in that industry, in that business, to help people, to help pull them up out of situations or give opportunities. So being self-motivated, being motivated. If you have set goals, if you set goals for yourself, you have to be self-motivated. You can't depend on someone to tell you to go practice, go spend hours working on your craft in the acting industry. You have to do that on your own and show that you really want that. It's in your heart, that you have a passion. The third word is committed, like I said, and it all comes together. You have to be committed. You got to have a passion. And most things that you're committed to, you have that passion. And what that brings is enjoyment. If you're committed to whatever it is, your craft or whatever thing that you love, if you're committed to doing it, to putting in the work, putting in the hours, researching, all the things that it takes to be successful in whatever craft you choose, then if you're committed, your chance of being successful goes up.
But I do want to bring this up to you as well. I love what you do. You got involved with the Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, and that was amazing. You worked with the police commissioner of Charlotte, Rodney Monroe, I think, right, Eric?
That's right. Yes. He had.
Wow.
Yeah, he does. He has an organization called PAL, which is the Police Athletic League here in Charlotte, that does so many amazing things here in Charlotte, working with the kids in the community, giving opportunity to education, mental support. So just being involved in different organizations, as I mentioned before, just looking for an opportunity to give back, looking for opportunity in organizations to associate with.
Same question for you, Erin. 3 words that you've chosen that we can all live by. What are those 3 words? Why did you choose them? Whenever you're ready, the floor is yours, my friend.
All right, the first one is love, because I think that's why we're all here. You know, I think love is the most important thing. And, you know, I see it every day with these dogs. Like, they've been through like hell, these rescue dogs, and they still just like love you so much, and it just, you know, opens up your heart. Like today I stopped by the rescue or the shelter, and there was this one dog, this shepherd mix, and he had a terrible life. He was locked up in a tiny cage, even though he's a big dog, with a tire against it. And that was his whole life. So a few weeks ago, the shelter went and got him, and he's the nicest dog. He's so full of love, and he's so sweet, and he just like sits on my lap and he plays with me, and it's like amazing. Like they teach you, like, you know what, something bad happened to me, but I am nothing but love, and I just feel like that's how we should be. All right, my next one is gratitude, because I feel like we should be grateful for everything, for all the little things. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I pray and I thank God for literally everything. Just, you know, the fact that I woke up, the fact that I'm healthy, the fact that I have a family, the fact that I have love. But I feel like it's like an important thing to do, to remind ourselves that, you know, even if we're, you know, we get annoyed or upset about things, like we have so much to be grateful for. And then my last one is optimism. I just think it's good, you know, in a world that can be really negative, to just try to keep that mindset at all times. I think it'll get you further than being negative and down.
Can optimism sometimes hurt us?
Sure. If like you have very high expectations, or you're, you know, a little too optimistic, yeah, you can get disappointed. But I feel like, again, like that like comes with age, where I feel like at this point in my life, like I can deal with disappointment.
Erin, what gets you out of a rut sometimes?
You know what I'm gonna say.
Yes, I do.
My dogs. They're
Yeah.
so happy and so entertaining. They're just so full of joy.
Sure.
And also, if I'm upset, and I tell other people to do this too, like just go to your shelter. And these dogs are they're gonna change your mood, because they're in a little prison. And when you walk by their cell, they're so down and upset or antsy or whatever. And then you take them out for a walk, and they just are licking your face, and they're so grateful and so happy just to even have that 20 minutes or whatever it is out of that cage.
Eric,
If you're in a rut, as we mentioned right now, just go out and do something with others. Do something for someone else.
Right.
Even at your lowest point. I remember times when I have been at my lowest point. I've always tried to say, okay, what can I do to get my mind off of my own situation? So let me put my focus on someone else or something else.
Sure.
And that always helped me personally.
I've learned not to run away from a rut.
Sure.
I just feel like it lasts longer. When someone starts feeling a rut, you know, I take a minute, I just sulk in it and let the rut catch me. Because eventually you just get tired of being a rut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You sulk stuff, you start, you know, you get tired of feeling sorry for yourself. And you're like, all right, you start to pick yourself up. You know what I mean? I feel a lot of times you try to run away from avoiding it. And I started thinking, I was like, you know, I'm going to rut, and then I just, all right, let it engulf me. And then, all right, you know what? I'm tired of this. And I'm tired of being mobile around. I'm tired of being unproductive. I'm tired of it. And I just kind of get over it. And that's how I kind of deal with the rut.
Oh, man, I got to say this. Carlito, were there moments in your career that meant a lot to you because your family was in attendance? Wow.
I remember I had a match with my dad, my brother, myself. We just, the Triple 3-on-3 tag match. So that was kind of cool.
It's amazing. What? Okay, I'm the writer in me. How did you feel like, or if you remember, maybe you don't, how did you feel prior to that? Like maybe a few moments prior, is there extra dose of adrenaline coursing through your veins at this point, or?
Sure, yeah. You're with your family in there, so you want to put on a show at the same time, appreciate the moment.
And again, I know you're not going to say this, but people should know this. Your father, an absolute legend in Puerto Rico. If you want to use the term the Ric Flair or the Hulk Hogan, that's what Carlito's father was and still is, of course, with all the work, and not just the work in the ring, of course, running a promotion, which is, I don't know how the man did it. I mean, he was an icon in the ring and outside the ring as well. It's insane when you think about it.
Yeah, sure. That's crazy. Yeah, you're right.
Wow. Erin, being on set, I'll ask you the same question as well. Did you ever have a moment on set where somebody, or maybe something they watched of yours and they go, okay, now I know why you chose this. You're really talented.
Yeah, I think my family, like when I was in high school, were kind of like, oh, you're sure about this? But
Right.
I'm the youngest, and my sister and brother have normal jobs, 9 to 5s, and pretty normal jobs. Anyway,
Sure.
so they're very supportive, and they're like, oh, Erin, she's different. She doesn't, she's an artist. She's an
It's
actor.
okay. She's the youngest. It's fine.
Yeah. So, and they're still like, I'm 44 now, and they're still like, oh, Erin just living her crazy little life. But they're really proud. And they go to all my premieres when I have
That's awesome.
premieres, and I get to bring my nieces to set. I've done that a few times.
Sure.
But my family's awesome.
I think that's amazing that there's.
Yeah.
But you know what? I have a theory. I think by the time I'm the youngest as well, I think we kind of wear out our parents at that point. They have no strength. So they're just like, do whatever you want. If you guys had someone that you lost that you think would handle any problem you had in the form of a conversation, who would it be?
Probably my Uncle Noel. I think he was murdered in 1994. So my uncle's like that, and he was just like, he just tell you straight. You know what I mean? And he didn't sugarcoat anything. He was very direct. He didn't care how it came off.
Sure.
He didn't care about hurting your feelings. So that's one thing I kind of appreciated about him. He was just a straight shooter.
Well, my dad,
Your dad?
he was pretty cool. He's pretty calm. He could evaluate situations that may have been high intensity. It would always bring the intensity level down so you can discuss and problem solve in
Sure.
a calm manner.
I would say my Aunt Susan. She was
Okay.
like so sweet and so warm and so loving. And literally everybody loved her. And people who she wasn't their aunt called her Aunt Susan.
We're going to play a game called More Underrated. More Underrated. We haven't played this game. Eric, Sleepy, Floyd, and Carlito and Erin, they have played different games before, like I'd Pay, but never More Underrated. And that's the game we're going to play. I'm going to give Eric, Carlito, and Erin a trio of options of things that I think are underrated. They'll let me know which ones they think are more underrated and why. Of course, this is wacky. It's supposed to be. It's the levity portion of the show. I'm going to kick this off to Eric, Sleepy, Floyd first. What do you think, good sir, is more underrated of the following? Hole-in-the-wall coffee shops, restaurants named Food and Stuff, or diners that are simply named Eats?
Diners that's named Eats.
Underrated. Yeah, I would say so.
Very underrated.
I would say hole-in-the-wall coffee shop.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't know what you're going to find there. Sometimes you can find the most amazing coffee. Sometimes you can find some amazing stuff, either good or bad. You know what I mean?
Hole-in-the-wall coffee shops.
Hole-in-the-wall.
I feel like it's great for people watching. And even if the coffee sucks,
Oh, yeah.
you can
Right.
leave with like great stories. Can you guys hear my dog?
No, we don't hear no.
There's one, our poodle. He does a little howl, and I hear him doing it.
I thought we'd hear dogs until you said there's 10. I knew we'd hear
10, yeah.
And then I heard our hound dog a little bit. So
Yeah, no. Okay, no.
she's always like going off.
There we go. That happens.
There he is.
Yeah. Don't watch The Lawnmower Man. It's a horror movie, and I just ragged about lawnmowers. It might have something to
Oh God.
We're going to finish things up with topic number 2. We'll start with Mr. Eric Sleepy Floyd. You've been provided with a 3-bedroom apartment and the right to select 2 historical figures as your roommates. If we're up to you, which 2 historical figures would you select as your roommates? Which of the 2 are you most likely to bond with socially and why? Which of the 2 will be the one you lean on for advice? And which of the 2 is likely to drive you absolutely bonkers and why?
The 2 that I would choose would be Muhammad Ali and Arthur Ashe. And one reason for Muhammad Ali is just for what he stood for, advocating for civil rights, just his stance, sacrificing, being selfless, what he believed in. He turned down an opportunity to go to Vietnam to fight for the country because he felt that blacks and brown people were not afforded the same rights as everyone else. Having Muhammad Ali share an apartment with me. I could be able to talk with him. I can listen to his rhymes. I can, how is he so confident? Where did he get all that courage from? Did he get it from his parents? Did he get it from someone else? I would have so many questions I would want to ask him. And also Arthur Ashe were very much the same reasons. Him advocating and educating people with AIDS before we even knew what AIDS was. He stepped out there on the limb and started educating the community, the country, the world on AIDS. Him also fighting, advocating for civil rights. Which one would annoy me the most? Obviously Muhammad Ali, because then I wouldn't be able to shut him up. I would have to listen to him. I wouldn't be able to sleep because he was a talker.
The two I picked, well, the first one was Martin Luther King, just because after Obama was president, with the Trump stuff, everything, the country just felt so divided. The left went real left, the right went real right. I just think that Martin Luther, both sides would respect him. Both sides would listen the most to him. So I think it would be great to see his perspective. And then the second one, just for selfish reasons, is Richard Pryor. He's my favorite comedian. I think it would be just hilarious to hear his opinion on what's going on these days. I would go to Richard Pryor for comedy. My guy would be Martin Luther King. Who would probably get on my nerves, probably Richard Pryor. You know what I mean? It'd be like, joke is a joke. I said, all right, brother. It's 2 in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, 2 in the morning. We had great laughs, but come on, man. Okay, thank you. You know what I mean?
All right, so I picked French chef Julia Child. I'm such a foodie and I love to cook. So I've never cooked French food. That's like the one thing that I don't know how to cook. And she's like literally the best. So I would want to learn from her. And then it would be really nice to have a roommate that cooks for you all the time. And then my other one is Lucille Ball, because I just feel like she's very interesting and she's hysterical. I loved watching I Love Lucy when I was a kid. So I can learn, she can teach me how to be a better comedic actor, and I can learn a lot from her. And I think she would be a good confidant too, because I'm sure she had a very serious side. And then as far as who would annoy me, I don't mean this in a mean way, but Julia Child has a very booming voice, and I think eventually I would be like, oh my God. But they're both amazing women.
Do you agree that this is kind of a place where strangers leave as friends, guys? I mean, you guys have been incredible together. I want to say incredible together.
Yeah, this is why I like doing the show. I meet such awesome people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
it's
guys
good
are
to hear
awesome.
different perspectives from different parts of the country, and obviously everyone has a different upbringing and all the different relationships. We share those relationships here on your site, on your show, and man, you have a platform that's for everybody, no matter where you come from and whatever your background is, and you respect everyone that comes on, and your introduction for everyone is amazing. So
thank you, my
we
friend.
do all appreciate those introductions and shows us your commitment to what you're doing and how seriously you take it, and you
thank you
and you honor all your guests, man. With that opening is amazing.
I appreciate that.